What inspired you to become a chemical engineer? What made you want to do it?
Engineering is something that has always sounded interesting to me. Also, my personality is one to just kind of not feel like I want to quit, and sometimes that's good for me, and sometimes that's not good for me. But I feel like there's a lot of that as well for me. Just like, well, I started it, I gotta finish it, you know.
What kind of stuff is like required to become a chemical engineer?
Math, technical writing, and just kind of critical thinking skills, yeah, critical thinking. Yeah, good at math, good at writing.
Okay,
I would say those are some of the highlights.
gotcha. And what was the first thing that you did with chemical engineering when you started?
The first thing that I did was I spent a year with a company in Salt Lake City called APCO. It's an acronym that stands for Advanced Process Control and Optimization. They do control engineering, and that is a process control, which is essentially, um, you know, programming computers to run equipment. You're essentially building a screen that has buttons, and it's displaying numbers and switches and dials and all this stuff, so that not only so that you can control it without having to go, walk or drive to wherever your equipment is. You could just do it all remotely from a computer screen.
So if that was your first job, so now what typically does a day look like for you at work?
Basically, I get into work every day. I've got a 15-minute meeting with our plant manager, who is kind of the guy who is in charge of running our, he's the kind of the final decision maker for everything around our plant. And so I've got a meeting with him, and then a lot of the other supervisors around the plant. So we have a quick meeting in the mornings where we just kind of go over what's going on during the day, and who needs what, and then once a week we have a safety meeting with everybody at the plant, and then from there on out it's just kind of, usually I go over emails and respond to different people asking about different things, and then for the rest of the day I'm just kind of working on different projects, or producing reports. Hopefully that you kind of get a picture of kind
Yeah.
of what that looks like on a day-to-day basis.
And so with that, what kind of, as a chemical engineer, what are some of the, like, on a big scale, what are some of the impacts of chemical engineers in the globe?
Chemical engineers play a huge role in extracting and refining oil. The big oil and gas refineries honestly probably have hundreds of chemical engineers working at them. Chemical engineers work a lot with processes. So anytime you have any kind of a factory, or a plant of some kind, more often than not, there's going to be a chemical engineer involved. Being able to produce things on a very large scale, quickly and efficiently. I mean, there's a lot of people involved in that, but chemical engineers will be all over in that process.
Uh-huh.
So, on a global scale, you would not be able to, produce things in significant quantities, kind of autonomously, without chemical engineers.
Great talking to you. Oh, okay. Bye. Back in hell.
Dom 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 dom. Dom 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 dom. Dom 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 dom.